Hello, my friends. How are you? I hope you have a great day. Me personally, I'm okay too. Even though I get cold. A few days ago, I had to go in hospital to see my relative that was wounded in a zone of special military operation. He was evacuated from a battlefield in Moscow region. Balashikha, yes, there is a town on the name of Balashikha. So I went there to see my relative to give him support. And on the way to Balashikha and the way to back, there was wet snow all day. And probably that's why, when I came home, my dress was almost entirely wet. And that's how I get cold. But and because of that, I had to take leave from work for a week, and next few days I'm gonna be home, and I will have time to make at least few updates about conflict in Ukraine, about Russia, about situation in Russia, and some other interesting, I hope interesting topics. So yes, that's it, man. What can I say? I mean, my relative, and I did mention my relative that was wounded. He was wounded in Svatova. That's Lugansk People's Republic. He ended up in a close firefight. His small group, he was leading his soldiers, and all I can say is they did find quite huge sabotage group of forces that are loyal to Nazi Zelensky, this criminal animal. And then firefight broke up, and even though this Ukrainian unit, this Nazi unit, was entirely destroyed, and they lost. Zelensky's regime lost on that fight alone around 60 soldiers. My relative was wounded. In his group, one soldier died, few soldiers were wounded. But because they are all, and point is that they are all are mobilized. They do have, they were mobilized in the first wave because they have experience in military experience, and they knew what they are doing. So that's why probably they managed, even though this group was much smaller than Ukrainian one, they managed to destroy enemy with minimal losses. But as I said, my relative was wounded. He was his brothers in arm take him from a battlefield when he was wounded. He is wounded in a head and in a leg, so he could not walk. So he was taken from a battlefield by members of his unit, and he is all right now. I mean, it will take some time to for rehabilitation, but Psychologically, he's doing all right, even though I mean, of course, it's a shock for anyone. No matter how strong psychologically you are, to end up in a close firefight and see your enemies eye to eye and just be engaging in this kind of shootout, you know. And overall, man, it's horrible what is happening on the front line. You know, it's sad that this special military operation took so long, but uh, it is what it is, man. It will be over a long time ago if criminal Western elites did not push Zelensky and his Nazi regime to continue this war. So, you know, that's been said. I'll give you now quick update on, as I said, quick update on situation on the battlefield. I'll have latest news that about yesterday's events. This update is from Ribar channel. That's one of the best Russian language channels on Telegram. So, and they are quite informed too. So must be reliable. Even though any information we must take with punch of salt from any side. I mean, it's obvious. So let me give you some update and highlights. So yesterday in Liman sector, fighting for holding the initiative near Ploshchanka and Chervopopovka continues. It's quite hard, strong fighting in that area. Russian armed forces launched some strikes on positions against forces that are loyal to Zelensky, and it seems like rear guard of that forces was significantly, reduced. We have an update here that Wagner private military companies assault units are continuing to do some strong fighting, do some heavy fighting in Donbass region, and they are achieving quite a significant success on the local scale, because we should understand that in that area a fight is going on for tranches, for almost every meter, every square meter. So when one or any side taking any positions of enemy, it's kind of a big deal on as I said, on the local scale. So Wagner private military companies assault units are making some progress. We have information that DPR People's Militia units launched the expected offensive on Ukrainian positions near Donetsk. Ukrainian command rushing reinforcements in that area, because their defense line may collapse. We have information that this is all about yesterday's events. Ukrainian large caliber artillery and MLRS continue to conduct massive shelling of Donetsk. For last week also, they are almost on daily basis are shelling Donetsk, and if you start looking for videos on Telegram or on YouTube, you will find that they are shelling just city, man. And some residential areas are bombed, hospitals or clinics are bombed. I mean, they just don't care, man. They are shooting on direction of Donetsk, and that's what they do. They are terrorizing people, basically. Heavy urban fighting is going on in a central district of Marinka, where Russian motorized riflemen have repelled all counterattacks of the enemy. DPR authorities declare control over 70% of the city's territory. And today, DPR's head, I did read the news from today, that Marinka is encircled, under encirclement of Russian forces, and seems like this town will be liberated from Zelensky's Nazi regime in near future, let's say that way. In Ugleda sector, Russian forces are attacking Ukrainian stronghold in Velika Novoselovka direction. The aim of offensive is to improve the current positions and capture a number of enemy strongholds. So as we see, I mean, in Donetsk region, Russian side does make some progress, little by little, but we are seeing some movement, forward movement there. And eventually, I do believe that maybe even before end of this year, some cities of Donetsk region, including Marinka or Bakhmut, may be liberated from Zelensky's Nazi regime. But yet again, I mean, I'm not there, so it's hard for me to, you know, do some proper predictions about this stuff. But that's how this picture is. That's what this picture is telling me. That I mean, this push, hard push from Russian side, will eventually give Russian side advantages that will allow to liberate more and more territories. Here we have an update that gives, I mean, Zelensky's Nazi regime is continuing to wage a terrorist war. Zelensky's forces did blow up a car of deputy head of the regional administration, and this person was wounded. I mean, he's in stable condition. That's what media is saying. But yet again, as we can see, Zelensky's Nazi regime is using terrorist tactics, because that's what they are, really. I mean, the Nazis, terrorists, and animals, basically. That's what they are. And same I can say about the patrons, the bosses in Western elites, because they are animals too, man. You know, I don't see any decent human being in Western elite. You know, and no one does, probably. So that's a basic update on events that took place yesterday. I did read the news from today that Zelensky's Nazi regime did blow up a bridge on Russian-controlled territory near Melitopol city. So yet again, they are you know, their sabotage groups are operating in Russian-held territories, and that's quite troubling stuff, man. Because God knows what kind of dirt they're gonna do, man. Because they are terrorists, they are animals, man. So yeah, this being said, let me now show Russian media outlets, and let's go and see what kind of news are making headlines right now at this point. Here we have a TASS news agency. Here, Putin, who is somehow and God knows why still Russian president. Man. This total failure as a leader, in my opinion, is still Russian president. Man. If he had the dignity, he would step down a long time ago. Man. But you know, it is what it is, and he is talking about here. We have news that it must be more done to popularize Russian history and folklore. Some just obvious stuff, man. I just cannot take this person seriously, man. I just can't, because he is head of the one of the most corrupt systems in the world, and he is doing nothing to change that. Maybe he is personally not interested in money or anything like that. Maybe I don't know him. I don't know what his priorities are in real life, but he is leading this system of power. That are immensely corrupt, and because of that corruption and because of corrupt individuals in that system that are, that are in majority probably, those corrupt elements. Russia is struggling right now with this special military operation, and Russia is struggling to achieve to have some achievements in many other directions too. In space explorations, for example, or in some economical development. Take Western companies, man. There are many successful companies in the West that were created by former Russian citizens. And why they did not create those companies in Russia? That's because system is so corrupt that best minds of this country are unable to do anything. And they are running away in places that they will have opportunity to realize to implement their dreams in real life. That's why I just hate corruption. I hate corrupt individuals. I don't see them as humans. They are traitors. All corrupt people are traitors. That's my take on that topic, and it is what it is, man. Let's continue, man. Here we have information. I did already spoke about this, that in Lugansk People's Republic, leaders of this republic did say that Marinka is in encirclement and soon will be liberated entirely. I tend to believe in this information. Probably we're gonna see that Marinka will be liberated in next week or two, maybe even in next few days. So what else are making headlines here? Pushilin, that's head of DPR, Donetsk People's Republic, saying that Zelensky's Nazi regime sending more and more reinforcements in Artyomovsk area. Artyomovsk is so-called Bakhmut. Ukraine calls that town Bakhmut. And there's some strong fighting in that area, and DPR officials were pushing this and is saying that they are reinforcing Zelensky's Nazi regime, reinforcing Ukrainian units there because of some heavy casualties. And little bit earlier, we had information that some officers of LPR, Lugansk People's Republics, militia, are saying that in and around Bakhmut, Zelensky's Nazi regime every day losing up to 500 soldiers, wounded and KIA, killed in action. That's quite a huge number. Let's be honest. And that's happening in one particular area of this huge front line. But as I said, man, I do believe that in near future, Artyomovsk or Bakhmut will be liberated from Zelensky's Nazi regime, and same will happen in Marinka and in many other places. Eventually, DPR territory will be liberated entirely. I have no doubt about that. But as I said, man, I think as long as we are seeing no changes in Russian political and military leadership, it's hard to be optimistic, really, because I have some serious doubts about competency of and loyalty to Russia of these officials. I have some doubts about it because they are traitors, in my understanding. Most of Russian political and military leaders are traitors. That's my opinion, because they are corrupt, and corrupt elements are traitors, you know. And even, more than that, I'm quite sure that Western secret services are directly controlling many people in a close circle of Putin, and not just. Probably Western secret services are controlling Russian so-called elite entirely, you know. That's my take on it. That's why it seems like Russian political and military leadership is sabotaging its own special military operation. Not its own, it's Russia's special military operation, but it seems like Russian officials are sabotaging this special military operation on a daily basis, So I think only transit of power from these corrupt animals to some decent human beings may reverse situation and give Russia necessary impulse to move forward in all directions. Can it be done? I don't know, man. But without transit of power from these ones, it's hard to be optimistic. Here we have this is RIA Novosti news agency, and as I already said, here we have a statement of Ushilin, that's the head of DPR. He's announcing that very soon Marinka gonna be liberated. Probably yes. Probably yes. What else, man? There is probably this is it for this video. I did give you some update. you know, what was happening on like last week. What was interesting? Probably you hear about this exchange of prisoners between between Russia and the USA. USA received basketball player Grainer, if I remember correctly, and Russia received Boot, this merchant of death. And this, I don't have anything to say about this basketball player, American basketball player. I mean, she didn't make mistake. It's sad, but she's not. She's not head of some cartel, man. You know, drug cartel or anything. I mean, she was just acting stupid. When Russia received this Boot, who is merchant of death, I mean, and he was received in Russia by propaganda outlets. He was represented as some kind of fucking hero, man, and that was disgusting, honestly. And he is now a member of one of the parties. I mean, he straight away become member of, and possibly one of the leaders of LDPR. I mean, that's one of the parliamentary party that are represented in parliament, man. This fucking merchant of death, man. And he was treated like he's some kind of hero, man. I mean, it's disgusting. It's just disgusting what Russian propaganda does, man. I mean, they are shameless, man. These motherfuckers are shameless animals, you know. So that's why I'm saying, man, it's Russia needs transit of power and change of elites, man. It's just it's necessary for Russia because these bastards, man, these animals, they are main danger for Russia, man. These corrupt, incompetent animals that are running Russia right now. I mean, it's just, you know, it's sad to see that. I mean, these criminal rubbish elements are in elites, man. I mean, it's shame for Russia, man. It's shame for Russian society, in my understanding. But what you gonna do, man? You know. But anyway, man, this video is too long for, so you know, I'll finish this video now. And as I said, I will make at least few more updates in next few days because I'm on a leave because of cold. I'm not working these few days, and I will have some time. And this is my hobby, let's say. I mean, this channel, an opportunity to exchange opinions with the entire world because I do read comments and I appreciate it. You giving me your attention, and you guys are from everywhere. I mean, from Australia to Canada to India to Malaysia to I mean, just name it, man. Brazil, Poland. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's great opportunity to have exchange. I mean, have opportunity to exchange opinions with so many people from so many places. You know. Okay, this is it for now. Have a nice day and take care.